Which ones are big deals and not so big deals? I want to start, guys, in Miami because Josh Rosen's future is, of course, there, but he's not done being asked about Arizona. He was a guest on the Rich Eisen show yesterday. He said he received a call from Cliff Kingsbury, but did not from another member of the Cardinals front office. Take a look at this.
He's like, hey, so we're about to draft Kyler. I don't really know what happens now. Yeah, and I responded. I was like, yeah, I don't really know what happens either. I mean, regardless, at least he gave me the courtesy to give me a call. Yeah, I mean, the only thing that, like, truly did kind of frustrate me through this whole process that, like, I still haven't heard from my old GM. Like, I didn't talk to him for months before, still haven't talked to him months after. But that was kind of frustrating. But for the most part, I'm just ready to put that whole chapter behind me and keep pushing on and playing football.
About Cliff, he said, at least he gave me the courtesy of calling me. Big deal or no deal? Keim not calling Rosen after the draft or at all?
It's not a big deal. I didn't hear from my GM right away. You don't hear from every coach when you're released or traded. This is a business. You know, the one thing that they have to do is pay you. That's the only thing. They don't owe you a common courtesy of shooting a text message, a phone call, or email out. So I'll say it's not a big deal. It's just like the Usher song. You don't have to call. So it's not a big deal.
It's okay, girl, right?
It's okay, girl. It's okay,
when you say Keim, you mean Josh Rosen's old GM?
His old GM.
As he referred to him. This is TBD. This could be a big deal. This could be a chapter in the documentary. This could be the title of the documentary, meaning if Josh Rosen goes on and sets the world on fire and decides, well, I won a couple Super Bowls or even been a couple All-Pros, and he sits down in that director's chair and does this life story, he will talk about how he was not called, how he was disrespected, how the same GM that traded up to get him and said you're going to be the future of our program and our franchise didn't even so much as send me a text. If he becomes a big thing, he will never forget that this is Aaron Rodgers waiting in the green room.
Wait, Jordan Hall of Fame speech?
Yeah.
Call out everybody?
If the old GM shows up, he'll call him right out. Jordan doesn't give a damn.
I'll say it's a big deal because there's a way to conduct business, and you would hope that you'd reach out to the franchise quarterback that you wrapped your arms around last year, and he was really a pro throughout of it and said that. I would also question, and we'll talk more about this, what was the win for Josh Rosen going on the Rich Eisen show as a backup quarterback for the Miami Dolphins right now and airing out things about the Arizona Cardinals from 2 weeks ago? That would be another discussion. But yes, Steve Keim, two wrongs don't make a right. Steve Keim could have very easily reached out to Rosen at some point in the process and said, hey, I'll be honest with you. We're looking at Kyle, and could have called him definitely the next day. Just like Cliff did. Yeah. Absolutely.
He did say he wanted to focus on the future, you know.
After
Rich asked him about it. He had to answer.
Sure.
Timing was interesting.
Much has been made of the Patriots losing Mr. Rob Gronkowski. They also lost defensive play caller Brian Flores, though, who's now Josh Rosen's head coach down in Miami. So according to the Boston Globe, Bill Belichick is going to be calling the defense, guys. The six-time Super Bowl champion calling plays. He hasn't done that in a long time. Big deal or no big deal, Kyle?
I'm going to go big deal, all right? It's like when Michael Scott went back down to sales, just for old time's sake. I think 2010, was the last time he did it. The Patriots went 14-2 that day.
2010?
2010. According to my research, there's something interesting really going on here with the Patriots defensive staff. I went to the Patriots website, the official website. All these offensive coaches are there, Sarnecchia and McDaniels, this whole staff. For defensive coaches, there's one, Steve Belichick, defensive backs. There's no one else even listed on their website. We know they have a whole staff. So I don't know what's going on here, but my bigger picture for the Patriots in this season, they're building a mauler on offense and they're building a mauler on defense, and Belichick's going to, like old time's sake, attack. I love it. Big deal.
Yeah. I'm going to say no big deal because even last year, Brian Flores wasn't the defensive coordinator or calling the plays. Still had a big role, still had the Super Bowl game plan, and still ends up being a head coach. You mentioned Steve Belichick. They've also got Gerard Mayo there and Brett Bielema. Like, they're names that are there.
Ain't on the website.
They're not on the website.
What's that?
Belichick's like, it's my deal.
Disavowed.
But I don't think it is a big deal. I think it'll be a team effort. It's just always been Belichick at the top of that spirit.
For most head coaches, this is a big deal. For Bill Belichick, who's a certified genius, it's no big deal at all. You know, it reminds me of people that can multitask very well. When I go home every day, it's my wife helping little Nate with his homework. She's preparing dinner for 5 hours from now, and then she's planning a trip 5 months from now. She is a multitasker at its finest, she is 100% locked in on every single job, which I can't do. Bill Belichick is the same way. He can multitask. He can be a head coach.
Yeah.
He can deal with all these different personalities while calling plays on defense, while helping out on offense. I feel like Bill Belichick, amongst the coaches, is a different level of genius, so he's perfectly fine.
Even when you're helping Atoya, I feel like she knows what's going on, right? There's nothing that goes on in your household that she doesn't know and has.
Yeah, everything's
hands.
rhetorical in my house.
So to me, it's just the reason I would argue that it's not a big deal is because I don't believe for a second that he ever didn't have his hands on every play, that he wasn't in the lab figuring it out, and that anything happens in an organization under that roof in Foxborough that he doesn't know about.
No doubt.
Spot on.
Yeah, that's
No doubt.
and that's what I
Geppetto.
feel from them. Geppetto. There we go. Will Selva's out in the newsroom in Culver City. He's kind of like Bill Belichick in that way.
Yeah.
Will always knows
On it.
what's going on.
Yes, sans
Bill
the
Belichick.
hoodie, but yeah, sure, absolutely. I'll take that one there, Kay. Appreciate that. Let's start in Tampa, where Bruce Arians kicking off his first OTAs as the Bucs' new head coach. It was a chance for both rookies and veterans to grab the attention of the new sideline boss. And one of those to do so was first-round pick linebacker Devin White. There he is. White reeling in an interception. The former LSU product flying around in his number 45 jersey. Sorry, Mike Allstott's uniform number 40 not available for you, Rook. Number notwithstanding, Arians saying he was impressed with what he saw in the rookie, as was fellow linebacker Lavonte David.
Something about them LSU guys, man. You know, all of them bring a certain type of energy, a certain type of swagger. And, you know, we're glad to have him here. You know, he's happy to be here. You know, he's ready to, you know, step in and contribute right away. And the first day, you know, he's flying around talking quarter interception, second play of practice. So, you know, that's a big positive sign, you know. So he's happy to be here. And first day he's talking, for a rookie to come in and talking like that, you know, it's real amazing to see. So, you know, the sky's the limit for him most definitely.
Meanwhile, Cowboys defensive end Taco Charlton recovering from not one but two surgeries. Huh? Well, there was the shoulder surgery earlier this offseason, but on Twitter he posted an image of himself wearing a walking boot from arthroscopic ankle surgery. Charlton calling it a minor setback. The Redskins head coach Jay Gruden likes what he sees from rookie quarterback Dwayne Haskins. Gruden saying Haskins has demeanor and aura about him, similar to Cam Newton. Gruden says when you're around him, you feel like he's got it. So you guys have started big deal, no big deal. Is this a big deal here? The fact that already Gruden is saying his presence is similar to one Cam Newton's.
I'm sure it is. I mean, we're all excited about Dwayne Haskins, and thank you, Will Selva. We'll get to it, but he's going to have to face a tough defense twice a year if he does get the nod. It's the Cowboys. You know, we're talking offense and defense here. Is there a rising star, though, that'll be calling the plays? I feel like we've not talked about that position in Dallas enough.
I want more.
We need to talk about it more.